My question to you is, do you see vertical farming, if we continue to develop it and work on studies, do you see it as a scalable solution for mass food production?
Yes, it has to be scalable. I am very against, I wouldn't say against, but a lot of these kind of inner city models, shipping containers, they're very good in terms of, educating and, talking to children about, the importance of food and healthy eating and so on. But the ideal setup, if I don't know, I had to plan it 30 years forward, would be large vertical farms, ideally integrated with glass houses and other forms of agriculture in peri-urban or rural areas next to key logistical routes. But as mentioned, there will always be a limitation on the types of crops that can be grown. And to an earlier point, this is not cheap. We need different types of investors to step in. I think this is the right kind of region. I think we need to be brave and think about the futures of our children and what it's going to look like for them, especially with those 6 crops I mentioned earlier, as opposed to more of a short-termist view that I think a lot of investors are taking now, looking at the kind of, there's always a natural attrition rate when you build an industry, right? Which is, and there's failures and learnings, and that's why, perhaps some of the farms here in the UAE have not been successful. Certainly in the US, as proven, there have been many mistakes. So yeah, I'm very much a believer in that, but as I say, I think it's a mixed solution and is not a silver bullet in any sense.
Do you think subsidies are required?
At the minute, yes. So I think if you're talking about some of it will depend on the crops, and it will also depend on the location of the farm. It will depend on the capital investment that's required. But I think that subsidies are required. I wouldn't say required, but something that the industry definitely wants and needs in particular areas.